The Top Intern, brought to you by Enterprise Computing Limited. Stay relevant.
Pepsodent Charcoal and Lemon-Infused Formula and Pepsodent Natural Herbal Formula for strong teeth and gums and for naturally white teeth.
Adansi Travels, feel life's beauty. Center for Higher International Education Facilitation.
As the night unfolds, we find ourselves at the pinnacle of a spectacular journey, a season filled with passion, brilliance, and the indomitable spirit of our top interns.
Presence of the private individual will ensure that policies that were instituted from the beginning will be followed and adhered to, no matter the party in power.
NetApp is ready to adapt to emerging trends and then help you to manage and process your data.
Our clients are going to have competitive edge, enhanced customer experience.
They're going to also use store leadership content, which includes expert interview and question and answer sessions.
Each episode has been a testament to the ingenuity that resides within our interns. They've not just competed, they've illuminated the stage with their intellect, leaving an indelible mark on the canvas of our top intern competition.
Was the objective to sell all of it?
Yes, please.
So why are you dancing around the question?
What were your objectives really as judges?
That is your objectives. So that is fraud. No, we told them.
As we prepare to crown the champion, let us bask in the glow of innovation, soak in the energy of determination, and revel in the collective brilliance that has brought us this moment. To our interns, your journey has been nothing short of extraordinary. To our audience, your support has been the heartbeat of the season. As the curtain rises for the last act, let the echoes of excitement reverberate through the hall. For tonight, we don't just celebrate a finale, we embark on a journey of possibilities yet to unfold.
Okay, because of the team performances, you must go to the final.
So if you are not competent and you are trustworthy and your integrity is sufficient,
fasten your seatbelts, hold your breath, and get ready for a night that promises to be nothing short of spectacular. The grand finale of our top intern competition is about to begin, and it's a celebration you won't want to miss. The top intern. Today's learners, tomorrow's leaders.
Wonderful. Let's put our hands together. It's going to be nothing short of a very, very engaging moment for the next couple of hours we have ahead of us. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And for those of you who are joining us on television live from the Mövenpick Ambassador Hotel, welcome to the grand finale of the Top Intern. Let's put our hands together for them. It's been a journey of education, determination, and a lot of innovation over the period. Tonight, we're going to have all of that put together. It's been, 10 weeks? We started with 12 top interns who qualified out of a very grilling experience going through the process of pruning the number to the 12 that started this journey. There's been 8 evictions. We have 4 finalists for tonight. And they promise you nothing but the best of the experience. My name is Alfred Okanse.
And my name is Na Ashoko. We're so happy to bring you the grand finale of the Top Intern tonight. As our contestants come on stage tonight, they promise to give us a very intellectually stimulating experience. So our event tonight, or the task tonight, will be in 2 rounds. Round 1, the delegates will come on stage and answer 1 question. All of them will answer the same question. Now, they will not hear each other's answers. The reason for this 1 question is to see how quickly and efficiently and effectively our contestants are able to answer questions, think on the spot, and provide excellent problem-solving ideas. That's for round 1. For round 2, our contestants will come up on stage to deliver a pitch to solve a problem in the society. So their pitch is for a project that will solve a problem in the society. Our judges will listen to them, we'll all listen to them, while our judges judge them on their problem-solving skills, their effective communication, and so on. We will judge them with our round of applause, our cheers, and continue to encourage our delegates to do their very best tonight. They're backstage, they are ready, they're a little tense, but they tell me that when they come up on stage, they assure all of us that we will learn something before we go home. And by the time we're done with today's event, we will know who our very first TV3 top intern will be. And I guess I have to ask all of you, who will be our top intern tonight?
And at this time, we are not hearing any names.
We cannot hear. We cannot hear.
Yes, a combination of everybody's interest, you know.
But in the meantime, you know that we're going to be deciding who our top intern will be with the help of our judges. It's time to meet our distinguished judges who have helped our delegates, actually, throughout the competition for 10 long weeks till now. Let's meet our judge number 1.
Meet David Kofi Aflo, a seasoned senior business leader with expertise in P&L management, sales, and project management across FMCG, telecoms, and petroleum industries in Ghana and West Africa. As the general manager of GB Foods Ghana, known for Gino and Pomo products, David's transformative leadership has earned him the title of CEO of the Year Food category at the Ghana CEO Summit and Awards and National FMCG Ultimate Man of the Year. Under his leadership, GB Foods has solidified its position as a multinational force headquartered in Spain, dominating the African and European markets. Acknowledged as the Marketing Man of the Year by the Chartered Institute of Marketing Ghana, David's impact on brand communication awareness is evident. His commitment to growth is reflected in significant investments, including notable factory expansion in Ghana and the launch of a new tin line for tomato mix products, demonstrating his dedication to innovation and success in the ever-evolving market.
And in addition to all that we've heard, he is also the National FMCG Ultimate Man of the Year 2023. Wow. So, you know, our contestants have a lot to prove tonight.
Absolutely, and David is right behind it. Just give us a wave, David. Let's
Hi,
see.
David.
Just
so you know, David is the happiest man in this room because Gino users are happy people.
They're happy people.
Yes.
Because I know you are happy.
Yes.
You are in there.
Now we'll meet our judge number 2, Helen Nana Nelson.
Madam Helena Nana Nelson is a seasoned management consultant specializing in organizational development and strategic human resources management. She brings extensive experience in designing and deploying learning programs for private and public sector organizations. Currently working with e-services and chief in Ghana, she served as the Director of HR, Learning and Development at UK Bank, aligning HR strategy with organizational goals. With prior roles at Henley Business School and Deloitte, Nana's contributions include establishing corporate programs, piloting business service integration projects, and leading assessment and development initiatives. Holding a BA and MBA from Henley Management College, Nana's research focuses on factors impacting the successful transfer of learning to the workplace. She recently held the exclusive agency for SHL, a renowned psychometric testing and talent development firm in Ghana.
Let's put our hands together, please. Wonderful. And we go on to our third judge for tonight, Professor Robert Ebohinson, Pro-Vice Chancellor of the Ghana Communication Technology University. Shall we have a profile for our next judge?
Professor Robert E. Hinson is the Pro-Vice Chancellor of the Ghana Communication Technology University, GCTU. With an illustrious career spanning over 25 years, Professor Hinson has been a guiding force, making profound contributions to marketing, business, and education. from pivotal roles such as Vice-Chancellor and Deputy Vice-Chancellor at the University of Kigali to teaching positions at esteemed institutions like Ashesi University, University of Ghana, and the Durban University of Technology. With a commitment to fostering excellence, innovation, and collaboration, Professor Hinson's influence extends globally, holding honorary positions, including an honorary research professor at the Durban University of Technology and a visiting professor of marketing at Lincoln International Business School. Professor Hinson's journey is marked by excellence and leadership.
Professor Ebohens, let's put our hands together for him. Thank you very much. Aside the other things that we put in here, Professor Ebohenson has an impressive research portfolio comprising 25 monographs, edited volumes, and over 150 peer-reviewed papers, chapters in areas like marketing, technology management, service management, and sustainability. Professor Henson has a 24-year career in advertising and consulting, offering expertise to notable institutions such as Lufthansa, Microsoft, and the Standard Chartered Bank. A last but not the least guest and judge for tonight, Dr. Mrs. Ellen Hagan. Shall we have the profile, please?
Dr. Ellen Hagan is a Ghanaian entrepreneur and a human resource practitioner who currently serves as the CEO of Lene Services Limited. She holds an MBA from the Graduate School of the University of Leicester. In her business career, Dr. Ellen transitioned from being an employee to an employer by establishing Lene Services Limited. She is also a co-founder of the Legacy Leadership Girls School in Akuse. Dr. Ellen collaborates with the counseling units of the University of Ghana, Central University, and Ashesi University, offering presentations on corporate insights, internship programs, and effective management practices. Dr. Ellen Hagan has received several accolades for her contributions, including the CIMG Marketing Woman of the Year 2011, the Strategic Leadership Awards 2011 at the World HRD Congress in India, Africa's Most Influential Woman in Business 2013, the Ultimate Woman of the Year at the 2017 Emmy Awards, and the Women Arising Entrepreneur of the Year 2017.
Let's put our hands together for Dr. Mrs. Ellen Hagan. Thank you very much, and it's good to have you join us for an all-important event tonight. Dr. Mrs. Ellen Hagan is also recognized as one of the first 100 most impactful women entrepreneurs with the vision for reimagining and also ensuring that Africa's future in 2023 remained on course for the next many years ahead of us. And many others as well. She's received the 2023 Legacy and Gadia State Award for demonstrated excellence in the field of leadership, entrepreneurship, support for youth development, and commitment to advancing gender equality, empowerment, and diversity. Let's put our hands together for all our judges. Thank you very much.
Now remember, this grand finale is proudly brought to you by some of the brands that we love so much. The first brand led by a lot of young people leading in innovation in Ghana today. A round of applause for ECL. Also, would like to say a very big thank you to the brand that keeps us smiling confidently, Pepsodent.
I also want to say thank you to that travel and tour agency that is doing the most in this country and beyond, Adansi Travels. Let's put our hands together for them. And we'll be acknowledging a lot more of our sponsors as we go on. If you just joined us, this is the grand finale of the Top Intern Season 1. This is the beginning of a long journey of unveiling interns with all the intellect, all the education that they've had over the period, and the innovation that they're bringing into the world of work. So this beginning is one that has to be celebrated on a night like this.
Now, our top intern tonight will go home with a cash prize of 8,000 Ghana cedis. They would also fly an all-expense pay trip. They're going to be going on an all-expense pay trip that kind courtesy at Adansi Travels to a country of their choosing to do their postgraduate course. Now, how cool is that?
Wow. A country of their
choosing to do their postgraduate course. Now, I am a little jealous of this one.
I am too.
I'm a little jealous of this one. They're also going to do...
what country would you have chosen?
What country would I have chosen? Let me see. I probably would go to the USA.
The US?
There's a course I'm eyeing. I should probably apply for top intern next year.
You should.
How do you think I'll do?
Oh, very well.
I should probably ask the judges. Would you do round one with us? Ask a question on our feet.
Round one with you.
With us? Oh my goodness. I thought we were doing this together.
No. I mean, I will be the host. You would be...
See, fear delegates. So.
Intern.
These men are loyal. How about we meet our delegates for the evening? If you're ready to cheer on your top intern, please give it up for, in no particular order, Kaiser.
Yep.
Kaiser, come up on stage.
Let's put our hands together for them till they get here.
Yes, there he comes.
In the three-piece suit.
Hi.
Wow.
Well, I tell you something about Kaiser. He's been backstage rattling something in the corner. You know those students who, just before the exam, you see them in the corner doing serious chewing? Yeah.
Oh, you do, eh?
He's very ready for tonight. Am I right, Kaiser? Spot on. What should we expect from you tonight?
Good evening, ladies.
Yes.
They are welcome to our corporate environment. So they should expect knowledge, charisma.
All right. A round of applause for Kaiser.
Awesome. Then we have Nana Yao. Let's put our hands together. Kaiser, stay with us.
Don't go. Stay with us.
Nana Yao, let's put our hands together for Nana Yao. Okay. I'll tell you one thing about Nana Yao. That's the first time I'm seeing him in suit.
Oh.
I mean, throughout the period. No, that's true, isn't it? Yeah, you don't wear suit that much.
What does he normally wear?
Fine. Like,
I usually wear
African print.
Yes, I'm a Pan-Africanist.
You're a Pan-Africanist. Yeah. So what happened today?
Yeah, I mean...
What happened today?
You know, we're the one who said you look up to Kennedy Japan and Kwame Nkrumah.
Was that you?
It wasn't you? No. Okay. Right.
Well, what should we expect from you tonight?
You should expect nothing but the best from me.
All right. He's a man of few words. Thank you so much, Nana Yao. Let's give it up for the only lady in the house. That's more like it.
Wow.
Let's hear it for the girl.
Esinu.
Hi, Esinu. Did you hire a bus with your friends? No?
No.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Good to see our viewers here, part of our audience. We always do it pre-recorded and we don't see them.
Okay.
And it's really a good feeling to see you all. Thank you all for coming.
Amazing.
Nice. Now we have the final of the four, Abraham. Let's put our hands together for Abraham.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, today we are doing it live. Yeah. You've been doing pre-recording and you're here. Now, tell me, what are your expectations for tonight?
Well, tonight I'm expecting the best. I'm expecting that I give out my best, and then I know I'm going to win this.
You know you're going to win.
Do you all know you're going to win this? Or just him? We all know. Well, we know that tonight you all give off your best, and no matter who ultimately wins, you're all winners for coming this far. This competition began actually after auditions with 300 people. And so to be standing here as a top four, you've done so well. I believe they deserve a round of applause. Well done. Now let's talk to the four people who will decide who becomes our very first top intern 2024. Let's start with you, David. What are your expectations tonight of our contestants?
So my expectations are very high, so I'm putting them on notice that today, please be at your best because the winner should prove that they really deserve to win. And I'm looking forward to you coming up, and may the deserving person win this top intern for the first time. So looking forward to it.
All right, he has very, very high expectations. And I'm sure our contestants are ready to meet him head on, yes? All right. Let's talk to judge number 2, Madam Helena. What are your expectations for tonight?
Like David, I'd also like to say that my expectations are very, very high. You are sending out a message. All 4 of you are sending out a very clear message that merit counts. Our country needs to hear that. And you are personification of that tonight for me. So my expectations are very high.
Let's put our hands together. High expectations. Our third judge, Professor Ebohanson.
25 years ago, I was a top intern with Madam Ovaya. Please clap for her.
Wow.
Yes.
Did you say 25 years ago?
I was an intern with her, and
wow.
I did work for Barclays, I did work for Ghana Airports, I did work for Shell.
Amazing.
And I used to go, I was in final year at the University of Ghana. I used to go and enter data till midnight to 1 a.m. and look at me 25 years after. Clap for me too.
Definitely.
Years after. So my expectations are not just high, but I want to show them that if you take the internship seriously, one day you just may become a vice chancellor of a university. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Dr. Mrs. Ellen Hagan.
That was a nice thing to say, Prof. I think congratulations are in order. I'm very happy that we happen to have one woman make it to the finals. But as our compare MC, Lady MC said, to get this far, you are all winners. Now, I'd like to quote 1 Corinthians chapter 9, 24. Do you not know that in a race, all the runners run, but only one gets the prize? Run in such a way as to get the prize. So the ball is in your court. All the best.
And this is the word of God.
Thanks be to God.
Thanks be to God. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are we ready? And if you're watching us home and you're ready too, you're watching the maiden edition of Top Intern. This is our grand finale. When we come back, the competition will begin. Stay tuned.
Many thanks to
Adansi Travels, Center for Higher International Education Facilitation,
ECL and Pepsodent.
Wonderful. Let's put our hands together. Welcome back from that quick break. This is the grand finale of the Top Intern, and it's been 10 weeks of a lot of education and innovation over the period, with 8 evictions and 4 finalists that we have left now to go through the next few hours ahead of us to determine who will be the first Top Intern for the first edition. Thank you so much for making the time to be with us here. If you're joining us on TV, we're coming to you live from the Mervyn-Pick Ambassador Hotel. We're live on TV3 Ghana on Facebook, DSTV channel 279, all across the world on 3news.com. We'll go to our first round, which is going to consist of the 4 top interns who have made it to the finals, thinking on their feet to give us their solutions to the problems that we're faced with in many areas as a country. And just to remind you that the Top Intern is proudly brought to you by ACL, Pepsodent, Adansi Travels, and also we have the chief also supporting us, the Center for Higher International Education Facilitation. Thank you so much to all our sponsors for the support as well. To start off the round one, so as Daniel gets ready, we would also have Kaiser join us. Let's put our hands together for Kaiser. And as Kaiser comes in to give a brief background of what he's been doing over the period, Kaiser's project, the Savannah Glow Project, is a pioneering initiative that addresses urban migration, unemployment, and poverty amongst Ghana's Kaya. Now, this round, I have different sets of questions here in this bowl. Nice glass bowl. What you're going to do is to select one of the questions and give it to me. Don't open it. I'll read it to you. What you have to do is to give an answer to the question in there. Are you ready? Over to you. Kaiser, your question. Youth unemployment. With youth unemployment being a significant concern, what innovative strategies would you propose to address this issue and create more opportunities for young people in Ghana?
All right, thank you very much for the question. It goes without mentioning that youth unemployment is actually an issue that the nation is battling with. And then we are churning out more graduates, but they are not getting jobs. One of the ways we can resolve youth unemployment is to align our school system with the job market. So let's not just teach theories, but then let's practicalize education. So people are not only in school, read books, understand the books, but then they can implement what it is they are doing in the books. That will be one. Another thing we can also do to solve unemployment would be to partner with the private sector. We can reduce tax or give tax reduction to companies and then make them employ more people, because the private sector may have interest in certain areas and then they will have the resources to expand. If the government gives that opportunity, they'll be able to get into it and then they will employ more people. Another one would be to reduce interest and then lending rates for small and then medium-scale enterprises. When we reduce the amount of interest that they will be able to pay, that they will pay on loans, they will be able to go and then get those loans to expand, because loans ideally are not for setting up businesses. They are for expanding the business and then for you to be able to get more onto the market. So when we reduce the lending rate or the interest rate on loans, we will be able to get individuals, get money from these banks, and then they'll be able to produce more, pay back the loan, and then in the end, we'll be giving employment to people. The final thing I would like to add is to encourage entrepreneurship and then internships. Someone may be out of business, or the person is a graduate from school. For 3 years, he hasn't found a work. But then when he gets employed in the interview, he has no job experience. In the period of not finding job, the individual could actually be interning with companies. So by the time they get a job, they actually have the requisite skills that the job market needs. These are some ways I think we can solve the unemployment.
Well, let's put our hands together for him. So if you talk about aligning this curriculum, the school curriculum with the job market, what do you mean?
What I meant by lining it with the job market is when someone is in school, our school system favors students who are able to assimilate information and then reproduce those informations. However, the job market needs people who can think on their feet. So people with problem-solving skills, people with good interpersonal skills, people with communication skills, people who can actually make sales, not people who can pass exams. So we should make students understand that technical and vocational education, where you get hands-on training, is also good. We all don't need to be sitting in the classroom and then in the universities, wanting to get a degree. But then after the degree, you should be able to have a skill that complements the degree. That is what I meant by aligning our education system with the job market.
Okay, thank you. So we'll have 2 of our 4 judges comment on his response to the question. Mr. David Aflo.
So, Kaiser, that's been very brief, but I think you've listed some very good points. I have 2 questions for you, follow-up questions. If you check the unemployment rate in Ghana, depending on the source, it will sometimes tell you maybe about 4%, but graduate unemployment, depending on the source, it will tell you about 12%-ish. Question 1 I want to ask you is, you talked about entrepreneurship. Then at the same time, you said that loans from banks are supposed to be for expanding businesses, not to start a business. So tell me in practical terms, if the unemployment rate is so high, especially for graduate employment, and you've called out entrepreneurship as one of the solutions, and financing is such a big issue, tell me some practical ways that you believe they would be able to raise capital for entrepreneurship in this country.
All right, thank you very much for the question. So for entrepreneurship, finding money, one of the ways we can actually raise money for entrepreneurship, I believe, is crowdfunding. We go, you need to actually have an idea. Then it is the idea you are expanding. That is what I meant by expansion. So you introduce the idea to people. If, say, you are getting 100 people giving you 1,000 cedis to implement a project, that will give you 100,000 cedis. That will be able to help you to raise that needed capital for what it is that you want to do. So one source of funding beyond the bank will be crowdfunding. Thank you.
Okay. So our next judge, and just to regulate the timing, what we're going to do is that we would have 1 question, 1 comment from the judges. Madam Helena, please.
Kaiser.
Yes, please.
Tell me one way in which you'll align, if you were given the opportunity, what would you do to align the educational system with the requirements of industry?
All right, thank you. One way we can align the education system, I believe, with industry will be introducing courses that the industry is actually demanding. So the fact that you want to go to school shouldn't be free for all. The schools should be able to regulate what it is that the market is actually looking for. This is a period that we are going into technology. So it will be prudent that a student who is in the university should be able to know how technology operates, PowerPoint presentations. The individual should at least have a basic knowledge of coding. So given that industry is now moving in our part, moving more into technology, we can restructure our curriculums and then factor the things that the industry actually needs into the curriculum. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's put our hands together for Kaiser. Thank you. Kaiser, thank you very much. Let's put our hands together as it goes. Wonderful. Okay. We have our next top intern finalist joining us. Let's put our hands together for Nanayao. Let's put our hands together for Nanayao as he joins us. Nanayao.
Good evening.
Please take your seat.
Thank you.
Nanayao, the Pan-Africanist in suit. Nanayao, you have a set of questions in this bowl. Pick one of your choice. You can roll it, and do. No, don't open it. Bring it, give it to me. Yes, yes. To you as well. And just for our viewers to get to know, and those of us in here, the top interns are not in the range of hearing the answers that everyone is providing, or each of them is providing to the questions we're going to be asking. So it's the same question for this round, but they are not going to hear the answers that they're providing, each of them. So to you, Nanel, youth unemployment. With youth unemployment being a significant concern, what innovative strategies would you propose to address this issue and create more opportunities for young people in Ghana?
Thank you for the question. First of all, youth employment is a situation where individuals usually between the ages of 15 to 40 do not get access to job based on factors such as the improper drafting of their resumes and CVs. Some also do expect salaries which are beyond their qualification. And also, some do not like to take internship opportunities and then learn beyond what they've been taught in school or their field of studies. Now, to counter this problem, certain strategies that can be put into place are, first of all, entrepreneurship is the way to go. Hence, schools should incorporate entrepreneurship skills into their field of studies so that students who attend schools can have broad knowledge about things to do after school so that they will not be fixated on only theoretical things. Also, government should support creatives and industry so that government should support, creatives and then agricultural sectors so that individuals who do things or who study things beyond their field of study will not be left out. Also, government should invest in TVETs to improve upon skills of students. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's put our hands together for him. Professor Robert Bohinton, please.
Anna, you're welcome.
Thank you, Prof.
Remember we had an interesting engagement in one of the earlier rounds about socks. Do you remember?
Yes, please.
What did I ask about socks?
You asked if socks are supposed to be worn in instances where someone dresses officially and then unofficially.
Fantastic. What was your response then? Since we are talking about resume, presentation skills, getting a job, lowering unemployment, what was your response then?
My response was that it is not in all cases that one is supposed to wear socks.
Fantastic. Tonight, does it qualify for socks?
Yes, it does.
Okay. So, resume, presentation skills, CV, preparing to be hired by someone. You said we should do internships.
Yes, please.
How important is it to present yourself appropriately so you get the job the next person won't get?
Okay, so as I spoke about proper drafting of CVs, you can't just get up there and then draft out something scanty.
When you say get up there, get up where? Where are you going? Get up where?
I mean, youth can't just wake up and then draft up something scanty and expect employers to employ them. They have to go deep down into the specifics. That is what they did after school and then the internships or any other programs at all that they've taken beyond their field of study or after school.
Okay, all right. So how important is technology in bridging this unemployment gap? Tech skills, contemporary tech skills. Right. Can it help to reduce unemployment?
Yes, please. Currently, we are in a digital age. So if you are someone who doesn't move beyond the traditional way of doing things, you lag behind. So I believe governments are also expected to invest into digital skills like technology, e-commerce, and the rest.
All right, thank you. Let's put our hands together for Nanayao. Nanayao, thank you very much. Yes, you can leave us. Thank you. Let's put our hands together, please. Our next finalist to take her seat, we have Esinu. Please, let's put our hands together. Esinu, welcome. We have sets of questions here. Yeah. Pick one. Uh-huh. When I read it, you should still be smiling. Just
I promise to.
Youth unemployment, as you know. With youth unemployment being a significant concern in this country, what innovative strategies would you propose to address this issue and create more opportunities for young people in Ghana?
Thank you so much for the question. As a youth, I believe strongly that I understand this particular situation. First and foremost, I would say that in order to address this issue, we need to get to the point where parents or family members will be able to appreciate every program their wards are going for. We need to stop the segregation, or we need to stop the backlashing that this person is studying this course, this person is studying that course. I believe if we're able to settle the issue from that part, if we start from that place where we all appreciate every program at all, it could help. Say for instance, I did performing arts. I was in the School of Performing Arts. And then I'm in a family where they don't appreciate the performing arts. They don't appreciate the creative arts. When I'm done and I have passion for it, and I know there's viable market in that sector, I wouldn't be able to do it because my family is opposing that I should do it. So I'll end up, the probability of me ending up unemployed is very high. I also believe that if we're able to tackle the TVET sector, the technical vocational and vocational education training, it will help a lot. Recently, I undertook a study in the Wutisenya East municipality, and then I discovered that most of the youth that I sampled were unemployed, and then majority of them were the females. The reason being that they are willing to venture into TVET, but the problem is they do not have the funding. They do not have the necessary requirement, the necessary help and support to be able to go into it. There was this lady that actually studied TVET. She studied sewing in school, but when she came back home, she didn't have, her family was not ready to support her, and so she had to stay in the house unemployed. But at the end of the day, she has a skill. She wants to be employed, but family is not supportive. So if you're able to push the TVET sector as well, I believe it's going to help. And I think lastly, the project works that we do in school, I believe most of them have potentials. So maybe we could partner, schools could partner with companies that would help us to realize this project. So we go into projects, we don't just do it and leave it in the shelves in the schools. It will shock you to know that sometimes you go and then the project works are just lying in the shelves like that. So if we're able to look at that aspect as well, I believe strongly that we could be able to help achieve.
Let's put our hands together for us, you know. Dr. Mrs. Ellen Hagan, please.
It looks like everybody thinks when you want to do something for yourself, when you don't have a job, you need support in terms of finance. So in a situation, in the example you gave, where a friend of yours had the skills in sewing and yet was staying at home, if it had been you, what would you have done to turn the situation around from somebody who had the skills to be transformed into somebody who is creating jobs?
Okay, so please, should I answer the question with regards to the fashion design, or I can use any other aspect to do it?
Whichever will express the example that you gave about somebody staying at home with sewing skills.
Okay, so I would want to divert from the fashion design. So say now creative arts, if I'm in the creative arts and I want to be employed, we have so many avenues. There's TikTok, there's YouTube, there's Facebook, there's Instagram. So I could capitalize on that. And we've gotten to the point where we can actually monetize those, whatever you do, the content you create on those platforms. So I can start with that and then be able to generate some income for myself. And then if I have to get whatever I need to get, I can get it and then establish myself. So I won't solely depend on others. If it's not coming, I need to generate it for myself.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much, Asino. Thank you. Let's put our hands together for Asino. Asino, please bring the microphone.
Sorry.
Yeah, let's put our hands together for her. You can put it there. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes. the last of the four for the first round, Abraham. Let's put our hands together for Abraham. Welcome, Abraham.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so pick the paper of your choice in this bowl. Okay, Abraham, youth unemployment. It's a big deal in this country. And one of the concerns that over the period creates a national security threat. What innovative strategies would you propose to address this issue and create more opportunities for young people in Ghana?
Thank you very much for the question. Like you rightly said, youth unemployment is a problem these days. Some ways I would propose to help alleviate these challenges. One, let's create a thriving environment for startups to be able to improve. Why do I say this? When some people start up something, they need resources. So resources should be made available for these people. Another thing is, we shouldn't focus too much on the government to provide these resources. Private individuals can also contribute their quota with these resources. We don't just need financial resources. We also need human resources. So guidance should be given to these startups in a way that it would guide them through the process from the startup so they become fully blown conglomerates. Another way too we can solve this or alleviate this issue is by making agriculture. It's one of the major sources of income in this country. But then, agriculture is not attractive enough for youth to go into. One thing we can do is we should make it attractive enough. We should make the profession, agricultural profession, respectable for people to want to take part in the profession. How can we do this? One way we can do this is to imbibe technology into agriculture. Right now, a lot of people in the agricultural sector are focused on subsistence farming. So the young people are not looking beyond the lens of subsistence farming. But when we imbibe technology into this, we can grow it, we can make it a very big industry. And then one thing is, the industry of agriculture is not just planting and harvesting. There is a long chain. There is manufacturing. There is packaging. There is logistics in the industry of agriculture. Let's make the individuals aware about this prospects in agriculture. And then finally, I think another way we can help solve this canker of unemployment, technical and vocational education. It is very important. Currently, the government is doing its best to ensure that technical and vocational education is going on. But it's not enough. Right now, the cutoff is, I think, in the secondary school level. But then, we can do it more. We can add technical and vocational, even in the university, we can add technical and vocational training to the courses, the independent courses that we all do.
Right.
So that when we come out and we don't get jobs to do, we have something to fall back and not solely rely on the government.
Let's put our hands together for him. Madam Helen Nelson,
yes.
Please.
The very last statement you made, adding vocational programs to university programs. I like that. I want you to say a little bit more about that.
Okay, so right now in the university sector, when we apply to the universities, what happens is that we select programs. So someone would want to do engineering, someone wants to do arts. But if you are given or you are offered these programs, technical and vocational training should be a compulsory part of this program. So let's say you are given engineering. You go and offer your engineering, all right, but you would have to minor in a vocational skill, fashion design, carpentry, welding, electricals, these things, so that when you get out of the school system and then you don't get employment, you don't need to sit at one place and then wait for someone to employ. You can fall back on the skills that you learned from this vocational training in the university, and then you can start something for yourself.
Thank you. Thank you, Abraham. Thank you. Let's put our hands together for Abraham. Thank you very much. And Abraham ends the round one of the grand finale of the Top in 10. Let's put our hands together for all four of them. And right after this quick break, when we're back, we would have Bernard the Magician, who is not a top intern, by the way. He just come to show us some magic for tonight.
Okay. So I'm going to show you some form of magic. If the camera could get this particular part for me, just what's happening. Right? You are going to select one thing to think about again, and you close your eyes. Is that okay? I have very different cards for now. For now. Right? Don't watch, just close your eyes and feel free. Point to the back of anyone. Point. This one, for sure. See it. Watch. Don't say it out. You can put it on your chest. And close your eyes. Can I get the camera capturing what is written here so we see what's happening? Okay. Close your eyes still. But the first one is this. Don't say it out. You can see it. You can see it. The first one is this. The second one is entirely different. You can see it. The third one is also entirely different. You catch the drift. This is also entirely different. I like that. They are all entirely different. No, I hope you can see. This is, think of something, maybe a dog, a cat, monkey, right? So different. And that's how internship works. You humble yourself to be taught by someone who is proficient in the field. So now, who can be a magician? Who can read his mind? I love that. Very confident. Hello, say open. Yeah. Now, I'm not going to be the one to read your mind. They are going to be. So in the art of magic, there is something called acting. And you have to be a very good actor. So see how it plays out. Think about this thing very much. Okay. It's something you've used before, right? You can nod, or you'll be like, hey, you are not going to nod. But is it something you've used before? Is it something you would like to give to someone as a gift? Right? Okay. Okay. So, right. Then I proceed to write what he's thinking about. But before that, sign here so that I know I can't change it. At this stage, you guys know what you are doing, yeah? Okay. You are having fun. Sign this side of it. Make it unique. I'll leave it for you. I don't need your signature. I can go to the bank and command the money myself. And then I write what he's thinking about. Right? You can see, you can all see that. And you can attest this is what he's thinking about, yeah? I hope this works. It's going to be very difficult, but I hope it works. Okay. So, just confirm this is what you are thinking about. Don't say it out. Did I read your mind? Keep it to your chest. Keep it to your chest. Then I reveal. Oh, did I read your mind? Then I move on to revealing what he's thinking about. But we are going to do it together. So hold the microphone. By the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Just say it out, and we all say what he's thinking about. Is that okay? 1, 2, 3.
Candies.
What are you thinking of?
Candies.
No, guys, what is he supposed to be thinking of? And what are you thinking of? Candies. Say.
Candies. Ayoka.
But I thought I wrote perfume. And it's...
Woboa.
But then this is how and why you should hire a magician. You called for candies. And I think every good magician should be able to do this. Open your hands. And you have candies coming from it. Thank you very much. My name is Bernard, your magician. Have a good evening.
A round of applause for Bernard the magician. Thank you so much for that show, Bernard. The whole time you were here, I was just hoping you don't make anyone disappear. Thank you for not doing that. Did we learn a thing or two? Were you mystified? Was it magical? Yes? A round of applause one more time. You're watching the grand finale of the Top Intern. This show, this is our very maiden edition. This is our grand finale. And today, in the next hour or so, we will know who our very first top intern will be. In the first round, our contestants came on stage and answered one question. In the second round, our contestants are going to come on stage and present a project pitch to us. Our judges will then ask them one question or make one comment, after which they will let us know who amongst our 4 contestants will be our top intern 2024. But before our first contestant comes up on stage, do I see the founder, presidential aspirant? A round of applause for Mr. Honorable Hassan Ayariga of the APC.
Wow. But you are contesting 2024. Right? Okay.
How is the campaign going? It's going
well.
good. Are you winning this year? I beg your pardon? If Ghanaians make the right decision, you win. Hey,
yeah.
Anyone here voting for the APC? A round of applause.
Oh.
Yes, I see you.
That's why.
Amazing.
Oh, please.
Amazing.
Fear voters. Yeah. Anyway, let's also acknowledge the presence of the board chair of Media General, which is also the mother company of TV3, 3FM 92.7, Onia 95.1, Onia TV, Connect FM, Akomai FM, 3news.com, and APL, which put this top intern maiden edition together. Mr. Kojo Yanka, please. Let's put our hands together. Let's put our hands together.
Thank you. I also see in the house the former general manager of Media General, Mr. Francis Doku, is in the house.
Yes.
Looking very presidential tonight. Thank you for joining us. And to all our sponsors, to ECL, to Pepsodent, also to Adansi Travels and Chief for sponsoring the maiden edition of Top Intern. We thank you so much. How about we get the ball rolling for the second part of tonight's competition? Our contestants will come on stage and present their project pitch on a project which should be a social impact project. The judges will then listen, comment, or ask a question. And then by the time all 4 of them are done, in our minds, and as we watch on TV, we will know who the top intern will be. So without further ado, I'd like us to look at the profile of our first contestant, Nanayao.
Good evening, cherished viewers watching me across the globe. My name is Nanaya Wade-Isam, a finalist of the Top Intern reality show. I feel excited to be part of the finalists of this show because it has helped me to think beyond my field of study and has improved upon my team working skills.
I trust him. I know what he can do. I always tell him that he is capable of doing things.
He puts an effort into everything he does. Yeah, like sometimes, even certain assignments, he helps me in doing it. If you don't understand anything, you ask him and then he will assist you. So, I think he's a go-getter. When he sets his mind to achieve something, he achieves it.
Tonight, My project is centered around we planting what we eat for the purposes of consumption, revenue generation, and even beautification in our localities.
I believe in God, and I know definitely He will come back victorious.
I know with God by His side and His hard work, dedication and effort, He will come out victorious. And then I know He will be the winner of Top Intern.
In as much as I believe all 4 contestants are potential winners of this program, I believe at the end of the day I will be crowned the ultimate winner for this reality show because I am my own competitor. Thank you.
Good evening, distinguished judges, ladies and gentlemen gathered within the confines of this auditorium, and to our cherished viewers watching us across the globe. I greet you all. Today, I feel very excited and privileged to stand before you and to introduce to you a transformative initiative of mine, which I have long thought of and hope to put into effect whenever I get the opportunity to mount an intellectual podium like this. As a student of politics, with a bachelor's degree in political science from the University of Ghana, I took inspiration from the great agricultural policy of General Ignatius Kutu Echampon, where between the year 1972 to 1978, we were treated as citizens of this country to plant what we eat and to also feed the industries. I believe we all seated here know of the famous Operation Feed Yourself and its benefits to Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen seated here, you and I can attest to the fact that those of us living within the urban areas lack access to fresh and organic produce as compared to our brothers and sisters living within the rural areas. Hence, there is the cliche that our brothers and sisters living within the rural areas tend to live longer as compared to us because of our long-term exposure to genetically modified foods and processed foods. It is because of this identifiable societal issue that is why I have decided to come up with this project known as the Community Garden Initiative. Ladies and gentlemen, this Community Garden Initiative of mine seeks to make good use of vacant spaces within our neighborhood and schools where individuals and residents can collaboratively come together to cultivate fresh produce for the purposes of human consumption, revenue generation, and even for beautification, that is for those who go into flower plantation. Now, the objectives of my project. My project aims to address issues of high unemployment rate amongst the youth by empowering them to cultivate organic produce. It will also promote healthy eating habits and as well introduce green spaces within our urban and suburban areas. Now, to the benefits of this community garden initiative of mine. It will first of all give us access to fresh and nutritious produce. It will promote food security and improve upon the aesthetics within our environment. It will also foster in us a sense of togetherness and cohesion. Now to my value proposition. The value proposition of this initiative of mine is geared towards the access of fresh, locally grown and organic produce, which will promote healthier eating habits. It will also foster in us a sense of community cohesion and will as well offer educational programs and workshops that will empower participants and provide us with practical hand-on garden skills. Now, ladies and gentlemen, these benefits that I have made mention of aligns with the Universal Call to Action goals of the United Nations, that is SDG goals 2, 3, 8, 11, and 13 respectively. Now to my target audience. This initiative of mine would include families and individuals. We would also incorporate schools and educational institutions as well as community organizations. To ensure the success and then the outreach of this initiative of mine, I will develop certain marketing strategies by first of all utilizing social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and other platforms or websites to share updates on garden tips and success stories. We will also make good use of word-of-mouth campaigns, collaborate with local schools, and then community workshops and information sections, which will provide us with practical hand-on skills in this project of ours. Now to the funding. I would first of all seek sponsorship or donations from agricultural organizations, garden centers, and even resort to the borrowing of equipment such as cutlasses, hoes, and other equipment needed for this project to come to life from even community members. I would also make good use of collaborative partnership, corporate sponsorship, and will even go a step further to explore government programs or initiatives that support community gardens and urban agriculture. Just as every policy on the surface of this earth is faced with challenges, this initiative of mine is of no exception. Hence, when I'm faced with the challenge of weather conditions, we will counter this challenge by, first of all, installing temporary shelters or protective covers during adverse weather conditions. With regards to pest and disease attacks, we will employ integrated pest management techniques. And when it comes to poor soil quality, we would focus on testing of the soils and making sure that it will be rich enough to ensure that the produce that we plant will cultivate very well. Now, my call to action. I would encourage community members, households, and schools to get on board on this project of mine because it is very innovative enough. For instance, for schools that will embark on this project, canteen staffs as well as kitchen staffs will have access to fresh produce, which will help them prepare nutritious meals for our brothers and sisters in schools, rather than the malnourished ones that we nowadays see on social media. For households, they can make a living out of it. Now, to conclude on this project of mine, just as I said earlier, this project is not just about planting what to eat for the purposes of revenue generation or even beautification, but rather, as a society, it will instill in us a sense of cohesion and togetherness. Thank you.
Now take one question or comment from Prof. Hinson or Madam Helena.
Thank you very much. I was particularly fascinated by your marketing strategy. Intuitively, though, what objectives were those strategies formulated to achieve?
To instill in us as a community the sense to eat what we produce or what we plant. Yes, and to also mitigate unemployment within our society, because when individuals incorporate this project of mine into their lives, it will act as a source of revenue generation to them.
So the marketing objective is mitigation of what?
No, you spoke about the objective, sir. But the marketing strategy, I said I will make good use of social media platforms where we will share the success stories of this initiative.
Yes, and my question was, what would those strategies achieve from a marketing objective standpoint? You need objectives before you formulate strategy.
Yes, please.
What were the objectives?
The objectives is to first of all sell this project of mine to the people living within the community as well as schools, because this project is dedicated to community members and then schools as well, just as I said.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prof. Thank you so much, Nanayao. Yeah, you may go backstage. Nanayao with his community garden initiative. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at the profile of our next contestant, Kaiser.
Hello, lovely people. My name is Kaiser Raphael Tete, and it's been a great experience on this journey, beginning from my vision board all the way to the finals. And then I've learned a lot, and then I believe it will shape me for the future.
BG Raphael, Kaiser, in second born. Minda yo washing ye ni nyumokele vashi. Kenkleni ekemia ke yasho ko TV3. Shin solen hale.
My expectations going into the finals, I am really optimistic. I am doing a project to tackle the issue of unemployment, curb urban migration, and also provide sustainable living for our women who are headquarters in Accra.
knowing Raffo and his personality, who he is as a person, I know that there's a possibility he can be the winner. And I'm sure, not that there's just a possibility.
My mentors are a lot. I draw inspiration from a lot of people. So from people like Nana T to Help Society, Wusi Tembakwayo, from people like Bright Simmons of Imani Africa. These are people that I look up to, and then I want to be like them, impact society, and then make my name stand out.
Our expectation is that Kaiser wins this contest, because I believe that I have looked at the other candidates on the program, and I believe that if there's one person who's well suited to win this competition and then to be able to speak to what the essence of the course, which is top intern, it is Kaiser.
Nene nanga bia me peji kan draw me na ma ke draw lo e manya na ma cover we ku okura le na agency no wale kan kunim le jemomo ne ma ye ka take no.
I would like to say thank you to my family, especially my mom, Lydia Devier, my big brother, Henry Kaiser. You've been with me all through this period. Mr. Bright Marfo of the Youth Model Parliament. And then to Mr. Bright Nukuno, CEO of West Empire Corporation. Your support has been amazing. And then to all my friends and loved ones out there, the advice have not gone to waste. I hope that I'll make you proud and then I'll come out victorious in this competition. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I come to you as a sad man, one carrying nerves and one who can stand by and watch people suffer. What you see behind me are real-life individuals, people with stories, people who need to make a life. However, life hasn't treated them well. So today I've come to you so that collaboratively we'll be able to help our young sisters. I introduce you to Savannah Glow, the Savannah Glow project. As you can see, I brought some packs with me, branded Savannah Glow. I'll tell you what they are momentarily. If you look at our setting, unemployment keeps hammering us as a country. It is either the person is unemployed at all, or even if they get some employment, a lot of them are underemployed. We can do something about this trend. You look at migration as well. You find a lot of young women migrating from the north, coming to the capitals. So you look at the thick lines, you see a lot of them are coming to Accra, those from Tamale to Accra, Bolga to Kumasi, from Wa. We are losing a lot of our young ladies coming all the way from the north just to come and make life in Accra. But these are not idle ladies. They are not lazy. When they come to Accra, you'll find out that majority of them actually work, but the women find themselves as porters. So you see that in the cave, both in Kumasi and then in Accra, a lot of them are working as porters. The men come in as tech mechanics, street vendors, some of them trade, and then the yellow shows you those who even come with no work. So it's not that the people are lazy. However, they are unable to do. So they find themselves on the streets. I think we have a solution. I present to you our golden fruit share nut. We can solve the issue of kayaye in Ghana so that we don't pay them small amount of money and make them do tedious work with shea butter. And you'll be surprised to know shea butter is popular, very common, where they are migrating from. What is our value proposition? Shea butter is actually a good thing. You look at the market trend of shea butter, it is used in cosmetic products as the base for the product. Personal care, we use it in our homes.
and then it is used in food. You'll be surprised to know that most factories, manufacturing, is moving away from chocolate butter to shea because it is more healthy and nutritious. You look at the market trend of shea, and then you'll find out that as of 2022, 1.30 billion US dollars is what was generated in the industry. And you look at the curve and you see where it is going. You will see that the least tapped is Africa. We are affected. We have the resources. So let's work with it. The trend tells you it keeps going up. So the value for it keeps going on. Our project is targeted at 2 people. Our main targets, or our main audience for the project, are the Kayaye. However, they are not our immediate target. Our immediate target are women who are already living up north and are contemplating migrating to Accra. So what do we do? The objective of the project is, number 1, to be able to give these women skill development. Let's get them working at something. Also, we need to give them sustainable livelihoods because most of them are working here, repatriating the money back to the north. And then we need to be able to get these women to impact the communities where they come from. We need to actually make sales from this so that we generate revenue for them. Our project Savannah Glow is linked to these SDGs, all the way from poverty to partnership to be able to achieve the other goals. The project will be taken in 5 years. It will span 5 years and then in 3 phases. Phase 1, we'll be doing feasibility. We will start with small-scale production. We will package and brand, communicate, and then build partnerships so that we'll be able to send our product into the market. The second phase, which will be years 2 and 3, we'll go into training, and then we'll expand our production. And then in the final year, we will scale up. Now, these are the project breakdown for our project, all the way from the 1st year to the 5th year. We're beginning from our feasibility study, and then we are aiming and hoping that we'll achieve brand establishment. We'll be able to establish a credible brand. This is our work breakdown schedule, and then for this, we are using the Gantt sheet. This is our responsibility assignment metrics, the people who will be doing the project itself. We are going with 4 people. Number 1, we'll have a project manager. We'll need a trainer, the production manager for the product you are producing, and then we should have a marketing manager to market the produce. I want to introduce you to what we will be doing when we scale up. The Gen Zs are more familiar with this. That is scented candles. It is becoming a common trend, and then there is room for it. You will be surprised to know that scented candles, as of 2022, grossed $8.36 billion in the market, which is more than even the shea butter sales itself. And then we are projecting that it will grow all the way to $14.52 billion. That is a market we can tap into. This is our budget for our project. It encapsulates everything from our sales revenue all the way to our tax. This is the budget we are going to use. We are using a total budget of 1.1 million and then 1.1 million and 34,000. This will be our revenue projections. We are expecting that in the first year, we'll make sales of 900, and then we will make a net profit of 400,000 cedis. Going on to the second year, and then on to the third year, you realize that we should be able to move on and then make profits in a wider margin. You will notice that from the third year onwards, we are growing. That is because we are introducing, scaling up, we are introducing the new commodity, the scented candles. And then that should also help us to gross more on the market. This is how our packaging will be. Number 1, we are selling shea butter. Industry needs it, so we will sell in drams as well. We'll be measuring our sales in liters. We will also have to package in smaller quantities, and then this for those that will need it for skin care. How are we going to fund the project? This is where you come in. The first way we need to fund this project is crowdfunding. If all of us here call our friends call our relatives and our rich uncles and aunties. If we get 2,000 of us raising 600 cedis, we should be able to raise 1.2 million, which is way above the 1.19 million that we actually need for the project. The second thing we are looking at will be donations. If you are interested in helping us, taking these young women from the streets and then giving them a helping hand, you will come on board. And then finally, for those of us who don't part ways with our money, we still need our money to come back to us. Yes, money is valuable. We are also looking at people coming in with a shareholding structure. So you buy in, we make our revenue, we pay you out. This is our call to action. The goal of the project, like I mentioned to you with the objectives, we've stated them. Even though we need to make sales, give these women a good livelihood, what we need to do in the long term is that we want to station the project in the savannah so that those who are in Accra will have something that will incite them to go back home. We need to get them off the street. We can't just tell them, go home, and then they will not have anything to do. When they get home and then there is work, they will remain back home. We are calling you for you to help us to change this situation that is neck-breaking, and then let's give them a happy life that they'll be able to enjoy themselves. Thank you.
Wow, a round of applause one more time for Kaiser. Kaiser will take a question or comment from David Aflu and Dr. Mrs. Ellen Hagan.
Kaiser, thank you. When you started, I think you took me on a high. You stated the problem very clearly. But as you started to break it down to the solution, you started to lose me. So now question. Because you talked about several things. You talked about, for example, you would export the product to be exported in raw form, which is sheer, right? You talked about scented candles, you talked about skincare, and all of that. But the reality is, a Kayayo who is in the market, Accra or Kumasi, earns X amount of money per day. I don't know the number. It could be 50, it could be 100, I don't know the number. And yet, when you got into the solution, you mentioned 4 people, and then you mentioned 1 million Ghana cedi as the funding required to make a major transformation like this. So, in line with what Doctor has said, I think you need to rethink this a little bit, and maybe you need to scale it and limit your conversation a little bit to say, if it's raw cashew you're talking about, yes. If it is scented candles, you believe the opportunity is. I think exporting products in their raw form is not value. We don't get much value from that. And the numbers are very clear. So the solution is value addition. But I don't think your story is convincing enough that the funding and the stakeholders that you are bringing together will be sufficient to be able to make a transformation of this industry. So if I was an investor or somebody who has to buy this, I'm sorry, I was not convinced.
Thank you, David Aflu. And thank you, Kaiser. A round of applause one more time for Kaiser. We'll now invite our next contestant, Abraham. Let's take a look at his profile.
Hi, good evening, lovely people. My name is Abraham Abdullahi Ayagri. I am grateful for the love and support so far on this journey. Being on the top intern has been a marvelous journey, has been a learning opportunity. I have learned a lot from different backgrounds, and I am grateful.
My expectation is that he will win and bring whatever he deserves to the house. And as a family, we'll be welcoming him so that everybody will be happy.
I've always been passionate about the arts, and today my project is all about pushing art to the forefront. Sit back, relax, and enjoy as I make a presentation about this project. I hope you're educated, I hope you're enlightened, and above all, I hope you learn something.
I'm very, very confident that he will bring the prize home. I'm very, very happy. For that one, I can assure you, because he's good.
All 4 finalists deserve a spot here, and they are all great competitors. I hope the best person wins, and I know I'm going to be the best person. Thank you so much for the support so far, and thank you to the sponsors for making this possible. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Thank you very much.
Good evening once again. I know all of you might have heard about the concept of theater, but a lot of you do not know much about it. I am a passionate person. I love the arts. I love performance art. Last December, I wanted to watch a production at the National Theatre. I'm coming from Doinya. I drove all the way to the venue, and then I was told the place was full. So I had to go back, and then when they communicate another date, I had to come back. Another thing too was, I always knew I wanted to pursue a career in the arts. But then there was no education about the arts, especially in the junior high school and the senior high school. The only time I got the opportunity to know about the arts was when I was going to the university. That is what gave birth to this idea, Inclusive Stage. Inclusive Stage is basically a project that is going to increase accessibility of theater and also educate people about the benefits of theater. Earlier tonight, I was asked a question about unemployment. Theater is not just about coming on stage to perform. There is a whole village behind that makes everything you see on stage successful. Right now, currently, you can see the team moving about. They all form part of the activities in the theater. The objective of this particular project is simple. Increase accessibility of the theater, educate people. When I say increase accessibility for the theater, I don't need to travel to national theaters to come and watch a performance. We are aiming to bring the productions to your doorsteps. So it means that we are going to produce plays that can tour to the various parts of Ghana. Educate. Like I said earlier about the fact that people do not know a lot about what goes on aside what they see on stage. So what we are going to do is we are going to go to secondary schools, junior high schools, engage and introduce workshops and other things that would educate them about the prospects of theater. And there are a lot of prospects of theater. There is scenic design, there's costume and makeup, there is sound, there is light, a lot of them. And these are skills that are not only applicable in the theater, but they are also applicable outside the theater. So we are going to educate them, help unearth talent, and then help nurture these talents. Another objective is to empower people. Empowerment. One thing about my production, the project that makes it unique is that we are not only going to use professionals wherever we go to. So when we go to each particular region, we are going to involve the locals in that particular region. Doing this, we will get the opportunity to train them in specific skills that can increase their employability skills and increase their livelihood as well. And finally, entertainment. One major reason for the theater and performing arts is entertainment. After a long day, you need to unwind, relax, and then enjoy. So we will provide thought-provoking performances that will captivate audience and then entertain them and help them release stress as well. What is our unique value proposition? One, affordability and accessibility. Because we are planning to decentralize the theater process, we are going to get a lot of audience. We are going to get a lot of people buying into the theater, coming to the theater to watch performances. And then it's going to increase revenue. Another thing is an opportunity to educate and train people. Like I said earlier, we would go to secondary schools, train people about the prospect of theater, give them hands-on skill, give them the opportunity to intern on the project and learn things. So by the time they get to the tertiary institutions, they know what they are going to do. The implementation phase. The first phase is to design and produce productions that can tour all over the country without breaking our bank. Also, the second phase is to go to secondary schools, train them, do workshops. And then one thing we all know is, in our secondary school curriculum, we read literary pieces. And so during the second phase, when we go to the secondary schools, we are going to perform these literary pieces for them. And you know a lot of people are able to visualize things and just read. So we are not just only going to perform, we are going to help them understand what they learn in school and then give them skills to be able to, after school, if you don't get the opportunity to go to the tertiary institution, you still have something, you pick something from secondary school. And then finally, we are going to embark on developmental projects in selected communities. The communities will be selected based on the regions where we go and do these productions as a sort of give back to the community. So we would go to the community, look for something that they are in their need of, and then help them develop that. We are not just going to do anything because we are coming to embark on a development project, so we are coming to do anything. When we do this, it's going to make, sometimes you realize that when people do projects, the community don't use it because that is not what they need. So we'll talk to them and find out what they need and then help them develop it. My target market, theater goers, senior high school, and people who are willing to nurture their talents in the theater and the performing arts segment. Funding. When we start the project, our main source of funding is going to be crowdfunding. We'll seek financial support from family, friends, and people who are interested in the project that we are going to do. Also, we'll send out sponsorship requests to companies and institutions whose goal align with what we are planning to do, skill development, training, etc. And also, we are going to do strategic partnerships. We are going to form partnerships with NGOs to educate people. One thing about the project is that when we are putting up performances, we are not just putting up any performances. We are going to talk about critical issues that are happening in our current situation, things that people can relate to and then be able to identify with. So for instance, HIV/AIDS education. We would partner with some NGOs whose goal is to send HIV/AIDS education and help reduce stigmatization. So we'll do performances about HIV/AIDS education, make people understand the effects of stigmatization and all that. Marketing strategy. The marketing strategy that we are going to use is basically we are going to make use of both offline and then online services. With the online, we are going to make use of social media. Social media is a powerful tool now. So we are going to use Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. What we are going to do with this platform is that we are going to post informative stuff about our project. We are also going to post trailers behind the scenes of everything that we do so that people would know what we are about. And then also we are going to do engaging content. Engaging content is the fact that influencer marketing are on these days. Challenges are on social media. So we'll jump on trends to be able to push our agenda forward. Partnership and collaboration. I stated earlier that we are going to do the production not just in Accra, but we are sending it to your doorstep. So wherever we decide to go to, we are going to partner with local media within that space. So for instance, I am going to put up a performance in Kumasi. We'll look for media within Kumasi that can help send our message to people in Kumasi. If I focus on Accra here, people in Kumasi might not know what I want. So I'll go to these places and then use their media to get in touch with their people. And then offline marketing. We can't do away with offline marketing. We are going to use flyers, we are going to use banners, billboards, and all that to push our agenda forward and make people know about our project. Our financial projections. We are hoping that at the end of the fiscal year, we would be able to generate about 450,000 in revenue. And then the production cost of this project is going to be around 250,000. So when we do this, we are going to make some profit, and then a portion of the profit would be used to embark on the development projects I talked about earlier. So like I said, this is the budget we are going to use. It includes venue, production costs, salaries, administrative expenses, marketing and promotion, and all rounds up to 250,000. How are we going to measure the impact of our projects? We are going to use this metric. So we are going to look at the number of individuals that we train during the fiscal year. We are going to look at the number of individuals that attend our productions. We are going to look at the audience reach, the audience engagement, and then we are going to look at the effectiveness of the projects and then development impact that we go and do in these areas. Sustainability and growth. One thing we all need to know is that we are not going to end this after one take. We are going to continue. So whatever profit that we make in the project, we are going to reinvest it to be able to expand the reach of the project, improve production quality, and also increase the scope of community development projects. We are also going to expand later on into other sectors of the performing arts, film, multimedia, and then advertisements. The performing arts industry contributes majorly to some countries' GDP. there is enough potential to be tapped, especially in our region here, that is not tapped fully. So I would entreat people, stakeholders, to come on board on this production so that we would be able to make a difference with theater. There is a saying that art mirrors life, but with my project, we are not just going to imitate life, we are going to impact, empower, and then grow the performing arts industry. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you so much, Abraham, for that presentation on accessibility challenges in theater and the arts. And I could have sworn I knew the production we're talking about. Let's not say it, right? Yes. Let's not say it. All right. Abraham will now take a question and or comment from Professor Hinton and Madame Helena.
The one person that I personally believe has made such a huge impact in this field is Uncle Ebu White.
Yes, please.
Right. And I'm sure that if I were to ask you the question, you would probably say he's a role model.
Yes, please.
All right. What have you learned from his way of doing this business that you will take into this realm, your project?
One thing is discipline. That's one thing I've learned from Uncle Ebu White. There is this culture in Ghana where when you go to events, sometimes they give you a time and then they don't start. But with Uncle Ebu White, when you go for his production, when he gives you 4 o'clock, you get there at 4 o'clock. Exactly 4 o'clock, the production is starting. They are not going to deal. And that is one thing that is very important. And another thing is his tenacity. When he started, he didn't start at where he is now. He started from somewhere and got to the point that he is. And so that's another skill that I have learned from him. No matter what the situation is, you're not supposed to give up.
And he'll be 70 next year, so I'm sure you have a lot of way to go. All right.
Thank you so much, Abraham.
Thank you, too.
Well done. And it's now time for our final contestant for the evening, the only woman standing. A round of applause for Esinu. Let's take a look at her profile.
Hi, lovely audience. Thank you so much for your support, your prayers, and your love. I truly appreciate them. I'm grateful to be part of the Final 4, and I'm grateful to have you seated here to watch what I have for you tonight. This journey has been an insightful one. I have learned a lot. I have learned from various aspects: marketing, sales, innovation, documentary, and so I would say that this journey has been so insightful once again.
So I'm really proud that AC has come this far. From that little girl in 2016 to a very mature and a very enterprising young lady.
Tonight, I'll be highlighting challenges that women face in the agriculture sector, and I hope to propose some solutions that could help remedy the situation.
As a top intern, we have seen her grow through the period. I've seen her progress, from handling very, very difficult questions. We expect her to win at the end of the day. We expect nothing less than a win. We want to bring the top intern title home.
Esinu is an awesome person, and I believe that she will win this top intern competition. I know she will, because she has all that it takes.
Thank you all for your support, your prayers, and your love once again. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to my family, my church, Global Evangelical Church, Tafila Chapel, to Christ Bliss Chapel, to my friends, my loved ones, everyone who has been supportive throughout this journey. I'm grateful, and I know I will not fail you. Thank you.
Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, our distinguished judges. I'm sure you were wondering what is a beautiful lady dressed this way holding a coconut seedling for. But don't worry, we'll dive right into it. Please, are you ready for me? Are you sure you're ready for me? Okay. So this night reminds me of some few weeks ago when I was having a conversation with a colleague, and she talked about how women were underrepresented in the agricultural sector. Me knowing that I've come across many information or many data online that talks about how women contribute more to the agri sector in terms of production, processing, and then marketing, I was bold enough to tell her, no, you are wrong. Little did I know that in as much as women contribute a lot in the sector, they are still underrepresented. They are still facing certain challenges that are limiting them in the sector. That was how FemFarm came about. So FemFarm, we aim to empower women in the agriculture sector. During my research, I discovered that challenges that women go through has to do with the ownership of land, has to do with certain resources and finances in order to be able to go through or to be able to service their lands and then produce. Another challenge that they face is the fact that they are not able to get resources enough to be able to grow their resources. And then it will marvel you to know that these women actually do subsistence farming instead of the large scale that most of the men do, making it very difficult for them to fend for themselves, to be economically independent, and also to be able to fend for their families as well. FemFarms aim to address the issue. What do we aim to do? We are aiming to empower Ghanaian women to be able to take charge in the agricultural sector. How do we want to achieve that in FemFarm? FemFarm, we are looking at growing or cultivating coconut, which is a cash crop. Like I stated earlier, most of the women partake or grow only smallholder farming, and they do more of the food crops. That is how come they're not able to raise many funds as the men do. And so we want to divert the attention and pay more attention to cash crop. And this cash crop, I'm looking at engaging the women to cultivate Malayan dwarf coconut and vegetable farming. That I will explain further. Our second objective is to be able to train and mentor graduates who have been in the agriculture sector. Another research that we found out is that most of the females who do agriculture, just because of how unappealing or unwelcoming that agriculture sector is, they do agriculture. When they are done, they veer off the program when they're done. And so this project is also aiming at bringing all those ladies and females on board to be able to help the rural sector women to grow their farms. The third will be able to contribute to food security and then zero hunger as well. This is a statistics that talks about countries that are investing widely in coconut. So for now, Indonesia is the highest country that is supporting coconut, or that is growing coconut for export purposes. After that, we have Philippines, and you will see that these are the top 10 countries. Out of the top 10 countries, there is no African country in it. And so we are hoping that FemFarm will be able to scale up at the end of the day and see how we can put Ghana on the map and Africa on the map as well. To Malayan dwarf coconut. Why did I choose Malayan dwarf coconut? So Malayan dwarf coconut, unlike the tall coconut that we all know, has some advantages that the tall ones do not have. So research has proven that coconuts that germinate early have high tendencies of resisting pests and diseases. And one of such breed or one of such variants is the Malayan dwarf coconut. That is how come we want to use the Malayan coconut. Another thing is the fact that unlike the tall trees, Malayan dwarf coconuts can produce a lot of fruits compared to the tall trees. And so we believe strongly that if you're able to invest in the Malayan dwarf coconut, we can have more fruits, we can have more produce for our women to be able to sell, and possibly if we scale up, we'll be able to export as well. So another factor is the fact that coconut has a lot of byproducts. And we know that coconut, I don't know about you, but just today when I was coming here, I saw a lot of coconut hacks on the way, which when rain falls, it causes a lot of mosquitoes. It breeds mosquitoes, which can cause malaria and other sicknesses in the environment. And so we want to see how we can minimize the level of coconut hacks, which is waste in the environment and harmful to us. And so in the long run, when we want to scale up, we want to see how we can utilize our byproducts. So one of the byproducts is coconut oil, which I believe strongly that we are all familiar with, and its health factors. Another one is the coconut water that we all drink, I believe. Sometimes when we are walking and we are tired and we are sweating, we all go like, we also have the coconut milk. The coconut milk is used for a lot of things. I don't know if you know, but the cake, after you get your coconut milk, the cake you get can be used as fertilizer to actually feed. The cake you get can be used as residue to feed ruminants, pigs, and other animals as well. Then we have the coconut flour. Then we have the cocoa pit. Cocoa pit is one of my favorites because cocoa pit is actually roughages you get from the husk. If you're able to get the the cocoa pit, you can use it as fertilizer. You can also use it to help your soil to retain some moisture in the soil, which can help your fruits or your vegetables, whatever crop you are germinating, to grow faster. So I talked about vegetable farming. One of the reasons why women do not partake in the cash crop, per research, is the fact that the cash crops do not grow faster. They don't bear fruit faster as compared to the other food crops that we have. But one thing we know is that the Malayan coconut actually takes 2.5 years to 3 years to grow. But in the meantime, no investor will want to invest in a project that at the end of the day will not be making returns. So we want to also be able to make some returns as a company or as a group, so in order to be able to pay wages for our women who are working on the field. And so we are looking at diversifying our field with vegetable farming. Vegetable farming in the sense that we are using bell pepper, and then we are using carrots as well. Bell pepper because it's easier and doesn't demand a lot of resources to grow, as well as the carrot. So we use this to diversify in order to generate immediate income for the people working on the farmland and for we, the company, as well. Right, the segments where I talked about the training and mentorship. Like I stated earlier, most people in the sector veer off because the sector is not welcoming to the women. We are hoping to be able to sell ideas to some of these ladies who have veered off, and then see how we can bring them on board, educate them, and then train them so that they can also go out to train the women on the farm. We are looking at how this project aligns with the Sustainable Development Goals. The first one would be no poverty, that's SDG 1. No poverty in the sense that we are able to grow more coconut for this case, and then we are able to diversify it with the plants, the bell pepper, and then the carrots. We'll be able to produce more for more consumption, and thereby, in the long run, we are going to help solve the issue of no poverty, because we're also giving economic growth and then decent job to the women. The second is to curb gender equality, is to see how we can talk about gender equality. So gender equality, like I stated earlier, the women are not being encouraged in the sector. They are facing a lot of challenges. So we want to see how we as females are going to encourage them and then promote them as well. The last one will have to do with decent work and then economic growth. Through this farm projects, we are going to be able to give projects to our women out there in the rural sectors to be able to grow the farm and then make some income for themselves. So what are expected outcomes? At the end of this project, we are looking at increasing the participation of women in the agri sector. We are also looking at getting more people who are in the agri sector who are veered off to be able to train women in the rural area more. And then we're also looking at improving the economic opportunities for these women as well. The last one will also be our contribution towards the achievement of the SDG goals. So how am I going to fund this? First, we need to know our budget. So for the production, we are aiming at looking at 20 acres. We are aiming at farming on 20 acres. And whilst we farm, we are looking at intercropping. So intercropping, so the bell pepper and then the carrots are going to be intercropped on the coconut farmland. Because when you grow coconut, there has some spaces in between them that can help us utilize those spaces. And so for the coconuts, the seedlings, we have 200 cedis for a quantity, and we are looking at the unit cost is 30 cedis. And then we have the carrots, we have the budget for the bell pepper. At the end, we are looking at a cost of 1,431,000 Ghana cedis because there's administrative cost as well. We are looking at operating as a company, operating formally and being able to push the agenda forward. Mind you, we are looking at scaling as well. In scaling, we don't want to just remain at production. We want to be able to process whatever we do so that we can be able to reduce the waste products we have out there. So our return on investment, for the coconuts, we are having, when we input what we are supposed to input, we'll be having a return of 800,000 Ghana cedis. For our carrots and bell pepper, carrots will be able to give us 1 million, our bell pepper, 1,200,000 Ghana cedis, and for our total revenue, we have 3 million Ghana cedis. For our net profit, we are hoping that at the end of the season, or at the end of our first phase, which we are projecting 5 years, we will be having 1,569,000 Ghana cedis. For sustainability and monitoring, we are hoping to leverage on markets, the ready market that is already available, and then leverage on that, and also see how we can establish proper monitoring and evaluation mechanisms to monitor our progress? Are we going to, looking at the projects we've done so far, how far are we going? Are we getting more women participating in the project? Are we getting less women? How can we restructure our processes, or how can we restructure our plans to be able to get more women on board? And so in conclusion, FemFarm is saying that when we are able to grow more bell pepper, when we are able to grow the carrots on our farm and heighten the growth of the Malayan dwarf coconut, we'll be able to get more women representing us in the Best Farmer Awards. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Esinu. Well done. Esinu will now take a question and or a comment from David Aflu and Dr. Mrs. Ellen Hagan.
Congratulations. I believe in the starfish story, that if you do this and you empower one woman, it would be worth it. My problem, though, is you're talking about 3 years. I'm a businesswoman. And if I look at your figures, have you taken into consideration inflation? What will you get with 1.5, according to your figures, after 5 years? How will that help you? So I'm just wondering how realistic your budgeting is.
Okay. So when I was drawing the budgets, I consulted some agricultural experts, and then based on their advice and counsel, that was how come I came up with a budget. But I did consider that.
You consider that it would be enough to...
Come again?
You consider the return on investment to be interesting?
Yes, please, I did.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Esinu. And thank you so much, judges. And please, let's hear it for the girl. Amazing. We've heard from all 4 contestants. They've presented their project pitch. They've answered questions and taken comments from the judges. And now the judges will decide, after listening to them during the first half of the competition, where they were tested on their ability to think on their feet, and the second half where they tested on their communication skills, problem-solving skills, among other things, the judges will now decide who amongst our 4 contestants will be crowned and named the first ever Top Intern 2024. This is our maiden edition, and we can't wait to see who amongst our 4 contestants will win. In the meantime, we have an amazing performance prepared for you. Who's in the mood to dance a little bit? We've been sitting for too long, right? In the mood to dance a little bit? If you're ready, I am happy to present to you a lady who I know and love. I know we all know and love. She calls herself the Soul Queen, except she calls herself that in another language, the Ga language. When we come back from this break, we'll get a performance from the one and only. I leave the guest to you. Stay tuned.
Many thanks to
Adansi Travels, Center for Higher International Education Facilitation,
ECL, and Pepsodent.
Let's go like this.
Say I know baby, on the I mommy, other say I know baby. Hey, this one I'm in the money different more. I wanna be more and it didn't get true. Other say I know baby. Hey, what is that? Say magic. Sorry I know about who I drink you. But that's who I drink this. Hey. When you mention I'm into now, hey, me wanna swim into Mingase. Me do it, yes, say I know, baby. Are you ready? Me very as you say. See, 1, 2, 3. See,
I need someone to call my own. Me and I make now I found someone to tell my someone. Hey,
best friend, you're him, man. I'm Mr. Best Friend. Oh, Dobby, oh, Mr. Janet, yo. Hey,
boy, yeah, me ma be janka me a toya. Enko si se po beda sante me mudie. O too much, yeah. Hey, when him there, send him there, no. When him there, send him there, no. When him there, send him there, no.
Oh, let's tell me. Thank you so much.
All right, do you still have your microphones? You don't have your microphones. One last time, ladies and gentlemen. Our top intern 2024 is... All right. When we first started this competition, when we first started this journey, we had over 300 applicants. They were pruned down to 25, further down to 12, and now we have only 4 contestants on stage with us tonight. And I'm sure you'd all agree with me that they have done tremendously well. But of course, we know that only one of them will win. And it's now time to find out who that one person is. But before I announce who the winner is, I'd like to ask just one of our judges to give us a concluding remark on the performances of our contestants tonight. Any of our judges? Yes, Prof. David, before you give the remark, would you like to know what the contestants think of you tonight?
No, I don't.
I was backstage with them.
I would want them to reserve that.
All right.
But having been on this faculty for the whole journey, I want to congratulate them. I think they've done a fantastic job. And it's not easy to be up there. So for those of you who are either at home or in the audience and you think it's easy, it is not. So please, we need to applaud them. I think we have seen significant transformation over this period. And Prof and I have been here for virtually the whole period. And we have seen significant improvement, development. And you are all winners. I would say it has not been easy at all for us in selecting the overall winner. So it doesn't matter. Either way, one person would come up as tops. And so consider yourselves as winners, and I believe you are all going to succeed on the next journey that you decide to take. So thank you very much, and I wish you very well.
Thank you so much, David, speaking on behalf of all the judges. And what they said backstage was, if we ever go before David again, we'll over-prepare. So, without further ado, I'd like to invite to join me up on stage from ECL, one of our sponsors, Juliet Yatufor from Marketing and Communications. Please join us on stage from ECL. I'll begin from the 4th position. Ladies and gentlemen, in 4th position for the maiden edition of Top Intern, I beg your pardon? Hassan Ayariga has a comment. All right.
I just wanted to say congratulations to all of you. I just want to support the program. First of all, to Kaiser, I think Kaiser said his seed donation is 600 Ghana cedis. Am I right? So you have my first 600 Ghana cedis. And the winner will get extra 2,000 Ghana cedis from me to add up. So we wish them well. You all did very well. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. That's very kind of you. We're very grateful. So our winner would ultimately get 10,000 Ghana cedis. So that's 8,000 plus 2,000. Thank you for rounding it up nicely for us. Thank you so much. In 4th position, ladies and gentlemen, winning an amount of 3,000 Ghana cedis, an internship with a reputable company, and products from sponsors. In 4th position, a round of applause, please, for Nana Yao. Well done, Nana Yao. Well done, well done, well done. Well done, Nana Yao. Nana Yao is receiving a check from ECL, an internship with a reputable organization, as well as a hamper from our sponsors to say well done and thank you for fighting a very good fight. In 3rd position, winning an amount of 6,000 Ghana cedis, an internship opportunity with a reputable company, and products from our sponsors. A round of applause, please, for Esinu. Congratulations, Esinu. In 3rd position. In 2nd position, gentlemen, please step forward. So our contestant in 2nd position will take home an amount of 8,000 Ghana cedis in cash, a trip abroad, kind courtesy at Dancy Travels, an internship opportunity with a reputable company, and products from our sponsors. The winner tonight, Top Intern 2024, will go home with 8,000 Ghana cedis in cash, a fully funded scholarship to study abroad for a postgraduate course by the Center for Higher International Education Facilitation, Chief, a trip abroad by Dancy Travels, an internship opportunity with a reputable company, as well as products from our sponsors. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the very first Top Intern 2024 is, with a round of applause, give it up for Kaiser.
I was born to win.
Top Intern 2024.
I'm a winner. I was born to win.
And of course, that means that Abraham is in second position. A round of applause for Abraham. I would now like to invite our board chair, Mr. Kojoyanka, to present our winner with his check and his other prizes. A round of applause, please, as Mr. Kojoyanka joins us on stage. Abraham gets 8,000 Ghana cedis. A trip abroad by Adansi Travels, an internship with a reputable company, as well as sponsor products. Thank you so much. And the winner Kaiser, our Top Intern 2024, goes home with, and I'll read from the check from Chief, winner of TV3 Top Intern Scholarship, up to $40,000 US. And that's from the Center for Higher International Education Facilitation. The Center for Higher International Education Facilitation Chief. He also gets a cash prize of 8,000 Ghana cedis from TV3. Congratulations, Kaiser. Kaiser also gets products from ECL. And that's a certificate of participation from TV3 Top Intern. He gets a medal, a winner's medal. Congratulations. And he also gets a cash donation from our incoming presidential aspirant for the APC, Hassan Ayariga, making 10,000 Ghana cedis in all. Congratulations, Kaiser. Congratulations, Abraham. Yes, you may go backstage. Congratulations. All right, more prizes now from ECL. From ECL, I have seen the contents of that bag, and you'll be very happy when you open it. Congratulations to you, Kaiser. A very special thank you to our judges. Thank you so much, judges, for the care and work that she put into our contestants from start till now, and especially tonight, because I know that it was not easy deciding who should win. We appreciate you so much. Thank you for choosing the winner tonight. A round of applause for our judges. I see we are very happy with the judges, aren't we? Yes, we are. And thank you all for being an amazing audience. Thank you so much, Hassan Ayariga. Thank you so much, our board chair, our sponsors, ECL, Pepsodent, Adansi Travels, and Chief, for making this program possible and a success. And to all of you watching us from home, on television or on your phones and laptops and so on, thank you so much for your comments. I was hoping to read some of them before we say goodbye, but we appreciate you being part of tonight's show. This has been the grand finale of the very first edition of TV3 Top Intern. We've been live on TV3 and across the world on all of our social media platforms. My name is Na Ashokor. I've been your host tonight along with Alfred Okanse. Thank you for watching and good night.
The Top Intern, brought to you by Enterprise Computing Limited. Stay relevant.
Pepsodent Charcoal and Lemon Infused Formula and Pepsodent Natural Herbal Formula for strong teeth and gums and for naturally white teeth.
Adansi Travels, feel life's beauty. Center for Higher International Education Facilitation.